Becky. I am back with another process video. Today I am going to be using the Pink Paisley Moonstruck collection for my layout. Now what I do here is pretty central, but I do use that ombre, this one right here. It's kind of a reddish pink, maroonish. I use a strip of that at the top and I use a strip of that at the bottom, and then that black with the floral, that's going to be my centerpiece. I am right here cutting off some strips. They are the reverse side of that maroonish pink. I don't know what it is. It's like outer spacey, watery, colory. I don't know what it is. It is gorgeous is what it is. But anyways, I cut off some strips of that. The reverse side is a script, and I'm going to use those as strips to divide the flower paper and the gorgeous paper. So right here I'm showing you my liquid adhesive. That is what I'm going to use to put those strips down in place. I am going to scrapbook this photo. It is just of one rose. For Valentine's Day, my husband had sent me a dozen roses, and the dozen roses also came with 6 Sherry's berries. But then he sent me another dozen Sherry's berries. Sadly, I have to report that most of those ended up getting thrown in the trash just because I can't eat that many. And then when I'd offer them to people, they'd be like, "Oh, well, Jim sent those to you." Well, yeah, do you want some? Well, a few people took me up on it, but the whole 18 did not get 8. But that's okay. Anyway, this is a photo of one of the roses that he had sent me. It has a filter on it, and I don't really remember what the filter is called. So I went ahead and pulled out some of the embellishments that came with the Moonstruck collection. Right here I'm using one that is a postcard. I'm using one that has keys on it. I did pull out the actual key and also a long stem flower, and then 2 little floral clusters. Floral clusters. One's going to go in the bottom right, and one's going to go in the top left. That little tab I put over on the right hand side is one, I think I cut that out with a die, and then I pull out this gold butterfly. It does not go there in the end, and another long stem flower that's kind of that maroonish color. That maroon butterfly I had fussy cut out of one of the patterned papers. I also punched out a few of the hearts, and I did ink all of the edges of these, and I don't know if I've shown that yet, but I do ink all of the edges of these with black, and I'm going to guess it was probably Tim Holtz Distress ink. We'll see. So I'm still trying to arrange where I want everything to go. Right there, you saw I pulled out that Faber-Castell. Oh yeah, right here, Tim Holtz Distress ink. So that's where I'm going to go ahead and ink all the edges of the embellishments that I am going to go ahead and put down. Those stickers there are the Charming font. I think those came out with the Gather collection. So here's where I'm inking all the edges of everything that I had pulled out and put on the page to this point. So I went ahead. Okay, I'm not sure really where I was. Amazon dropped off some stuff. I had to order a new album because already my 2017 is filling up. So I went ahead and put out this Faber-Castell texture gems, and I was going to use that, well I did use that to make kind of a gold sheen in the corners, but I was going to use it to splatter. I couldn't get it really to splatter how I wanted it to splatter, even though I've used that in the past to do that. This time it was not really working for me. I think it's the brush I had. I think it was too big. Well, I go ahead and just do the sheen over in the bottom right. I will do that in the top left as well. But in the end, for my splatters, I end up using the Heidi Swapp color Shine in Gold right there. I was like, okay, well, I don't have patience for this. I'm going to pull out the Heidi Swapp color Shine, and that's what I did. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and commit to the clusters that I had laid out. I'm going to put the large flower one and a small flower, a gold butterfly, and a little pink heart over there on the bottom right. And then at the top right, I'm going to put a small flower cluster and one of the gold butterflies and a black heart. I am going to pop some of the pieces up on some foam tape. I think I put foam tape under the butterfly and also under part of that small flower. And here's where I'm trying to figure out where I want to tuck in this heart. It is going to go right there to the left of that smaller flower. As you can see, my center cluster isn't adhered yet. That is not where it's going to go. So I'm going to go ahead and ink the edges of the pieces I'm putting up at the top left. I thought I'd already done that. Apparently not. I apologize. I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. And then I am going to adhere it down. There is that Faber-Castell gold sheen. I don't think I put as much up at the top as I did down at the bottom. And in fact, on the pictures, I can kind of see that I didn't. And I'm okay with that. I love this layout. I think it's beautiful. I love the paper. Kudos to Pink Paisley. I love this line. And it's so funny because I've had it for several months. This is the first layout I've done with that. Today is March 5th. And this is the only layout at this time, at March 5th, that I'm done with this paper line, and it is probably one of my favorite paper lines. It is so pretty. I love it so much. I think that the thing is, I don't feel like I have enough photos or situations that go with something that is so beautiful like this, you know, because usually the photos are every day. They're kind of a mess. I'm not a photographer. I mean, let's be real. My pictures are usually kind of crappy, so I don't usually feel like I have a photo that would go with something so pretty, but we'll see what happens here coming up. Okay, so I went ahead and tucked that postcard ephemera over onto the left and the key over onto the right, the key ephemera over onto the right. I am going to go ahead and stick that down right in the center. I'm popping up the edges of those on foam tape. I like to give them a little bit of a lift. I am going to take this cut out key ephemera piece that was in the die cut pack, and I'm going to stick it right there at the right side of that rose, and I'm going to go ahead and tuck this little flower in right by that key, and I do end up popping that up on some foam tape, just the head of the flower right there. Here's where I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with that tab. There's the other long stemmed flower piece. It is going to go right there, and I believe I also popped that piece up. The tab originally started out over on the side of that cluster, but it does end up right there at the top, and it is popped up just a little bit. So this is a photo that is going to go in my 2017 album. I did not do any journaling on it. In my project life pages or my pocket pages, I do have some journaling about Valentine's Day, so this is just going to go with that. Now, it's not necessarily going to match the pocket pages, and I'm okay with that. I don't even care. When I do my pocket pages, they're usually all a mess anyways. It's just all a bunch of journaling and photos. That's pretty much it. I don't embellish too much, so this is pretty much going to stand on its own next to that February 14th day. So right here is all I do to the layout. It is done. So please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I will see you next time. Bye, guys.